everyone and welcome to today's video. We are in the center of El Calafate in the south of Argentina in Patagonia. And in today's video I am going to show you some impressive glaciers. The city center of El Calafate is not that big. Honestly, there are like 2 streets with a lot of restaurants, stores and bars that are really nice, and you can definitely take a walk here, a long walk here, and look a little bit around in the souvenir stores and so on. But there's not that much to do. Calafate itself is not huge. There's a national park here where you can walk to, and there are a lot of tourists here, and therefore also lots of hotels. But in general, people do not come to El Calafate to spend time in this city. No, people come here for the glaciers, and so did we. We are going on a tour to see one of the most famous glaciers on Earth, the Perito Moreno. And I will take you with me, of course. And here we are, people, in the biggest national park of Argentina, which is the National Park of the Perito Moreno, one of the most famous glaciers on our planet. We just started a tour. We took a bus from El Calafate into this national park. We are doing a last little break now before we will enter the walkways of the glaciers and get an impressive views of the glacier. We will drive a little bit more to get closer to the walkways and then explore the whole area, which already looks super beautiful. Here we are in front of the glacier Perito Moreno. When we came here and got the first glance from the bus on that glacier, it honestly looked tiny, but we were also super far away. Our guide told us that the walls that you can see here behind me are about 45 to 60 meters high above the water. Below the water, they are up to 120 meters deep. So the glacier is huge, and now that we are right in front of it, you also notice that the walls are super impressive and huge. We are now going to walk a little bit over the walkways here to get different views of the glacier and also to get a little bit closer. There are different balconies and also different viewpoints where you can get impressive views of the glacier from different angles. We are in front of the Perito Moreno and have a spectacular view of the glacier. We can constantly see some ice falling down, which is super impressive. The weather here is usually like it is today, quite cloudy. That is because above the glaciers there's always some snow falling. That is very important to keep the size of the glacier as it is. But our guide also told us that due to the climate change, they noticed that the glaciers are becoming smaller and smaller. That is because it is snowing less and less above the glaciers, which means that the ice cannot be reproduced as quickly as it used to be. But the glacier still has a length of about 350 kilometers, which is huge. We can see on this side of the glacier the lake that is called Brazo Rico, or Rich Arm, and on this side El Canal de los Témpanos. The water in front of the glacier always flows from the Brazo Rico towards the canal. And also we can see little icebergs here in the water that have an intense color of blue. That is because the upper side of the iceberg used to be below the water for a very long time. And at some point the iceberg got smaller and smaller and they kind of flipped. So now we can see an intense blue of this iceberg that used to be below the water. I had to put on my hat because I feel like the closer we get to the glacier, the colder it gets. It's also quite windy, so make sure to come here well prepared with enough winter clothes. The closer we get, the more impressive it gets, the bigger it seems. And also you can quite frequently see the ice falling from the glacier, which is incredible, seriously. I am super impressed. The sound you hear when the ice falls into the water and the splashes the water makes, it's absolutely unbelievable, seriously. So far, I am enjoying the views a lot and I cannot wait to get even closer. Later on we are going to take a boat so that we will be right in front of that wall. I think there are no words to describe that feeling. But anyway, we will keep walking now a little bit more and get different points of views of the glacier. The ice and the lake have an intense color of blue, which looks unreal, to be honest. I've seen a lot of photos on Instagram and so on, and honestly I always thought they were badly edited, but no, it actually looks like that. Our guide told us before that the color of the lake here has this kind of blue because this whole area here was created by glaciers, and those glaciers took everything with them, like trees, earth, fossils and so on, and all these things became pulver in the water, which have an intense color of green or blue once the sun is shining on the water. We will go back up now because the bus will be waiting for us and we are going to take a boat that'll take us to the other side of the glacier. I'm very curious to get onto the boat. We will take the bus for a few minutes to go to the port, and then from there we will take the boat that'll take us right in front of the wall of the glacier. We are at the small port now. As you can see, there's the boat behind me. This is what we are going to take now to drive all the way this way in front of the glacier. They say the views are unbelievable, so I can't wait to get a closer look of the glacier. We are only a few meters away from the glacier. It is super windy, but so impressive. I'm pretty sure the camera cannot show what it's like to be in front of it. And also, I don't have words to describe this. It is insanely beautiful. I've never seen anything like that. It's absolutely stunning. In general, the whole nature here in this area, I feel like it is insanely beautiful. I've never seen anything similar to this. Not only this glacier, but also the other side with the mountains and trees. The whole landscape is unique, absolutely unique. And I think it is something you have to experience yourself to fully understand what it's like to be here. I've seen a lot of videos before and I never imagined it to be like that. It is super windy and also super cold, but that is something you can expect from being in front of a glacier. We are driving in the water and there are always constantly rather tiny icebergs actually in the water. And I think we are going to be dropped off there on the side where we can get even closer to the glacier and even touch it. And also we constantly see ice crashing down the glacier. This is even more impressive from down here. Unfortunately, I never have my camera ready to actually film this, but yeah, as I said before, it is something I think you have to experience yourself to be able to fully understand what it's like to be here. For me, this is an absolutely insane and unique experience. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here and very, very grateful that I'm able to enjoy these things. We just arrived at the south side of the glacier and are now going to start a hike that'll take us through the forest. We will get super close to the wall of the glacier. We will be able to touch it actually. And the whole hike will take us more or less 1.5 hours in total. We are on the beach in front of the Perito Moreno. And we are now going to walk a little bit, but I'm going to touch the water because I want to know how cold it actually is. Oh, it's not too bad. I thought it would be ice cold, but this is like the Baltic Sea in Germany, or even warmer, I don't know. But it's not too bad, honestly. So we can see the Perito Moreno here behind me, but it has actually been way bigger. Our guide just told us that it has been here on this rock only 2 years ago in December 2021. So it has lost about 300 meters in the south part of the glacier, which is a lot. Actually, the glacier has been famous for a long time because It used to be stable, meaning that it didn't lose ice or it didn't lose size. But this has changed now. A lot of glaciers are melting around the Earth. We all know that problem, and the Perito Moreno is affected as well now. Nevertheless, the Perito Moreno is part of an ice field that is the third biggest ice field on Earth. First, of course, Antarctica, then Greenland, and then this ice field here that is in between Argentina and Chile. If we would continue more towards the center of the glacier, it would be probably snowing over there. It is snowing at this area almost every day of the year, and you can see those different snowfalls on the glacier as well, because the glacier has little marks, little lines that you can see, and these lines represent each snowfall layer. Also, you might notice that the water color here is rather white. On the other side of the glacier, it was more like bluish or greenish. That is because of the sediment of the rocks here that turn the color of the water more into a white or like milky water. Here it is, the glacier. Glacier ice. Okay, it's cold. I don't want to know how many people already tried to eat it. It's water. It tastes like water. And it's a bit heavy and cold in my hands. But it's kind of cool. We are now right in front of the wall of the glacier. We can touch it. It's cold. It's ice. And super beautiful. Inside of this wall, you can see the intense blue of the glacier, which is absolutely stunning. This thing here is called piqueta, and it is being used for climbing or for hiking on the glacier. It can either be used as like a hiking stick, or if you want to climb on a glacier, you can use it to hold onto it and like pull you up the glacier or pull you up like a slope or something. Here in this cave behind me, you can actually see the different kinds of blues of the glacier. The glacier is either white or has a very intense blue. That is because of the pressure of the ice. Whenever the ice is very compressed, it turns out to be super blue, as you can see here in some parts. And when it is not as compressed, it is like whitish or, yeah, completely white. Here behind me you can see a lot of little hills. Those are called glacier moraines. They are being produced by the movement of the glacier. Basically, glaciers are always constantly moving, and then when they are growing, they are pushing the sand and the earth a little bit further away, and then they move back or they melt basically, but the sand stays. And that is what you can see here in various parts. You can always see little hills, and those hills are those glacier moraines. Here behind me, for example, you can see one moraine that is quite high. This has been created about 80 years ago by the glacier, meaning that the glacier came all the way up to this point, and also meaning that it was way higher. It used to be up here, so you can notice a lot that the glacier has been growing and melting a lot over the past years. Our boat is coming to pick us up, which means we are at the end of this tour and therefore also at the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed this tour through one of the most spectacular landscapes I have ever seen. I really enjoyed it. It is super impressive, this place. I think it is one of those places you have to experience yourself to fully understand what it feels like to be here, actually. Anyway, I hope you got a great impression of what it is to do a tour here in El Calafate, or actually on the Perito Moreno. If you like this video, make sure to leave me a thumbs up. By doing this, you will support my work a lot. Also follow me on real time through my adventures on my Instagram account, because my videos on YouTube are always a little bit delayed. So if you want to know where I'm currently at, make sure to check out my Instagram. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I am not done here in Argentina. We will see a lot more places of the country. So make sure to subscribe to not miss out on those beautiful and impressive landscapes of this country. I hope to see you in the next one.